Coming up on Mountain News this morning, yesterday, Governor Andy Beshear was in the mountains to give an update on the higher ground communities. And there's an investigation at an Eastern Kentucky Dairy Queen where a manager forced employees to eat contaminated ice cream.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just past 6:30 on Wednesday, February 28th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. Let's get you up to speed on this Wednesday morning. Tornado watch in effect for most of eastern Kentucky, all of southern Kentucky until 10 a.m. Things very active back toward the I-64 corridor, but things picking up now just to our west. Wind advisory also remains in effect until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Highest wind gust potential this morning with the thunderstorm activity moving through, but the gusty nature of the wind persists through this afternoon. And yes, this morning potentially gusts to 70 miles per hour being possible. Quick look at temps, 60s. Look at the color blue, top left-hand corner of the TV screen. That's the significant drop in temperature this afternoon to tonight. There is the watch one more time. There is the radar. And look at how the cloud-to-ground lightning strikes have increased in terms of coverage. We looped the data here over the last hour, tracking west-southwest, east-northeast, and the action here, Moorhead back just north of Mount Sterling, and these little, won't say perturbations, technical term, but the way these little complexes are rolling along 60 and 64 right now, indicative of seeing not only significant gusts, but also little rotation in the atmosphere. Again, thunderstorm warning, tornado possible across our northern counties. More about the pinpoint Doppler radar in the 7-day forecast in a few moments. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. Governor Andy Beshear traveled through the region updating folks on the progress of higher ground projects in Letcher, Knott, and Perry counties. WYMT's Madison Carmouche has more about the funding the counties received for Project Progress.
And so, this will be the first inhabited high ground site since the flooding. How about that?
The cottages at Thompson Branch is the higher ground community in Letcher County and the first to make strides to the future of the region.
And we've been looking for flat land to build on in eastern Kentucky for so long. Yes, running utilities to a high ground community is really expensive, but the idea of 100 homes. The
higher ground community received grants from the Appalachian Regional Commission and Eastern Kentucky SAFE to provide clean water.
I mean, clean drinking water is a basic human right, and continuing to push to get it everywhere, especially here in eastern Kentucky, is a pretty special thing, but it's something we should have accomplished a long time ago.
The governor says that he hopes people will take advantage of programs and funding so they do not have to go through traumatic flooding again.
And from the families that I talk to, the most important thing is they never want to be holding their kids above the water again. And as important as that land is, getting to a safe place for their family.
Beshear also took a trip to Perry County to announce the completion of Key Tech's plan to begin paving the roadways in the Skyview higher ground community.
For the people who got flooded, to see that these projects are going to happen and that they're going to have a chance and an opportunity to build in a new community that's out of the floodplain if they choose, is just a great day for not only Perry County but all of East Kentucky.
Beshear says the entire goal of the project is not only to rebuild, but to revitalize the region so no one has to leave. Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
While in Letcher County, the governor also made a stop at Arley Boggs Elementary for a reception for first responders that help students after a school bus crash last month. The principal says the student with the worst injuries returned to school just last week. The school gave out plaques to several people who responded to the crash that day.
Upon walking upon the scene, it was horrifying. The accident had all of the components for a very serious accident. And so that's kind of why we're here today, is to celebrate the fact that our kids are healthy and the amazing response from our team. But That day was very, very tough.
The school gave out plaques to all of the first responders, medical professionals, and school officials for their hard work and dedication to the students on that terrifying day. One person was flown to the hospital after an explosion in Pulaski County yesterday. The fire department says they responded to a home in Somerset for a report of an oxygen tank explosion. The condition of the victim is not known, but officials say they had severe burns to their face. Right now, investigators are working to figure out what caused the explosion. Fire officials say the victim told them a candle caused it. More than 6 pounds of meth is off the streets after sheriff's deputies in Clay County chased down 2 men from Georgia. Deputies arrested Cedric Shropshire and Kendall Boynton early Tuesday morning. The men were taken into custody after one of them led police on a car chase while the other bailed out and led police on a foot chase. During the investigation, deputies found the meth and a large amount of money. Both men are charged with drug trafficking. A Laurel County man is facing charges after leading police on a car chase Monday morning. Police arrested Dustin Bewley after the chase that ended at a roundabout intersecting Highway 1006 and 363. Police had received a report about a possible kidnapping. After trying to stop Bewley, Officer Hobie Daughtery say the man tried to get away.
Officers were given updates, and myself and other officers were able to locate the vehicle. When we did, we got behind it, turned on our emergency lights and sirens, and the suspect driving the vehicle proceeded to take off at a high rate of speed.
Police say Bewley was arrested after his car turned over, striking a utility pole and a guide wire. Also in Laurel County, the sheriff's office is asking for your help identifying 2 people. Police say the suspects are wanted for a Tuesday night burglary that happened at a building off Lilly School Road, 6 miles south of London. Authorities did not say what was stolen, but if you know who these people are, you are asked to contact the Laurel County Sheriff's Office at 606-864-6600. An investigation is underway at the Campton Dairy Queen in Wolfe County. A mother says a manager of the restaurant made the employees eat contaminated ice cream. She says there was solution and sanitizer in the ice cream and that some employees had to be taken to the emergency room for treatment afterwards. Some of the employees are under the age of 18.
They were told by the manager that whether or not they liked chocolate ice cream, they were going to taste it today. Some of the kids had complained that they had a burning sensation when they swallowed the ice cream.
The Wolfe County Sheriff's Office is investigating the situation. No charges have been filed at this time. We have reached out to the Campton Dairy Queen. They tell us they have no comment on the situation. New legislation in Frankfort has to do with human embryos. House Bill 757. The bill comes after the Alabama Supreme Court ruled frozen embryos are children. Several Alabama fertility clinics have stopped IVF treatments due to that decision. Julia Sandor spoke to the bill sponsor as well as one group that is in opposition.
When Alabama had its recent Supreme Court decision, it made clear to me that the courts should not be the only method of recourse in order for women to be able to access the right to reproductive freedom.
Representative Grossberg filed House Bill 757 Monday. The bill would declare that a fertilized human egg or embryo that is outside the human body would not be considered an unborn child. Adia Wuchner with Kentucky Right to Life says life begins at conception.
Point being, it goes against Kentucky law, which is already in law. When life begins, it goes against biology and scientific fact. And so really is just, again, walks in the face of all current scientific fact that we know today when life begins.
Wuchner says she agreed with the ruling in Alabama, but Representative Grossberg says whether the bill moves forward or not, it will make an impact.
In the lawsuit that I was referencing, these 3 brave women are taking on the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and one of the claims that was asserted against them was that no reasonable person would say that an embryo in a petri dish is life, and Daniel Cameron's office actually sued to have the case dismissed. With the legislation, either the legislation passes and makes the issue go away, or it doesn't pass, which shows that there's resistance from the majority party into acknowledging that Petri dishes are not people with the same rights.
For Wuchner, she says she doesn't believe this bill will move far forward.
I think because for most people, they're reasonable and they understand science when we're talking about the embryo bill. Solutions, things that they may not have thought other than terminating the life of a child.
In Frankfurt, Julia Sandor, WKYT.
Now to Senate Bill 71, which has cleared the Senate in Frankfurt. The bill requires licensed drug rehab facilities to provide transportation to those who wish to voluntarily leave the program when a family member or guardian does not agree to transport that person within 24 hours. The bill also assures patients who are receiving treatment from a court order can either complete that treatment or face consequences for violating the court order. Eastern Kentucky Senator Philip Wheeler gave his reaction to the passing of the Senate bill. He said, quote, "I am happy to see this proposal approved by my Senate colleagues. It is about ensuring people who are in their most vulnerable state are safe, along with the community. The people who love them the most are kept informed. I hope to see this bill make its final passage before the closing of session."
And the tornado watch got kicked out a couple hours ago. It's for all of eastern, or check that, most of eastern, all of southern Kentucky. It will be in effect until 10 a.m. this morning. The radar active and kind of arcing from Moorhead back to Lexington, west of Danville, and extending west-northwest of Columbia. Let's loop the data here. And you can see the orange polygons. They've been issued with thunderstorm warnings. Tornado possible up toward Moorhead, but gusts to 70 miles per hour as you arc back toward Danville. All right, let's zoom in, use the power of the pinpoint Doppler radar. And again, the lightning, which is a good sign here, decreasing in the number of cloud to ground lightning strikes. It's kind of a subtle sign because that shows a little bit of weakening, but still the way or the shape these thunderstorm complexes appear still a little concerning here, especially north of Salt Lick. Now keep in mind the radar is a distance away back toward Breathitt County and Jackson, but it's clearly picking up on some rotation here along and north of 64. More about the warnings with the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in a few moments. Olivia?
Thanks, Tim, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:43. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Kentucky is not the only state with rough weather today, as most of the Midwest is under a tornado warning.
Stop forecast sponsored by Big Sandy Heating and Cooling, the king of comfort.
Toyota is all about having choices, like more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else.
Including the legendary Toyota 4Runner, with over 40 years of off-road experience. And you can count on 4Runner to hold its value better than anything in its class.
Now you can choose a low lease on a new 24 4Runner for just $409 a month. And every new Toyota comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance included.
The choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
We want our kids to be protected.
But we haven't taken them for a vaccine, and even healthy kids can get really sick from COVID-19.
The vaccines are safe and will increase their protection against severe illness.
So we called Home Place Clinic to know that our children are safe.
We took them to get the vaccine, to know they're more protected.
COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Protect your family. Call Home Place Clinic today to schedule a vaccine or booster for you and your children 6 months or older.
There's love in every connection at Appalachian Wireless. Even if you want to connect with no credit check, no contracts, and most features are postpaid. Talking about Forward Pay, the simple, easy way to connect. And this month, get $50 off select prepaid devices and plans starting as low as $19.99 per month for unlimited talk and text. At 5 gig of data for only $29.99 per month. At 10 gig of data for only $39.99 per month. How about unlimited data for only $64.99 per month with 25 gig of high-speed data before slowing down? It's Forward Pay because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless. See AppalachianWireless.com for terms and conditions.
When you think of solid wood bedroom furniture, think Artisan and Post. When you think of Artisan and Post, think American made. When you think American made, think sustainability. Because at A&P, we replant a tree for every tree used, over 2 million so far. But the only thing you really need to think about when you see our solid wood bedrooms is how good they're going to look in your home. Solid wood bedrooms at Kemper's in Hazard.
I love working in the coal mines, even though it was hard work. But if you suspect you have black lung, you can't work anymore. You'll find out that filing for benefits is hard too. I had friends who give up after years of trying. If it hadn't been for Big Sandy Healthcare, I wouldn't even try myself. If you think you have black lung, call Big Sandy Healthcare and get the help you deserve.
Oh, when you hear that music, you know what time it is.
It's finally time to do some dancing.
WYMT First Alert Weather, sponsored by ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
And a good Wednesday morning to you. If you're just waking up to the morn, let's get you updated. Tornado watch posted 2.5, almost 3 hours ago for most of eastern, all of southern Kentucky. This will be in effect until 10 a.m. this morning. Wind advisory remains in effect for most of eastern and all of southern Kentucky. This in effect until 4 p.m. Again, with the tornado watch, intense rainfall, gusts to 70, but still the gusty nature of the wind is prolonged through the afternoon. The reason why the wind advisory is in effect until 4 p.m. All right, let's look at the temps. How's this for late February, huh? Unfortunately, it's one of the elements helping to feed our thunderstorm activity this morning. Everything arcing back from near Louisa now, just to the west of Danville. Kick everything into motion. And look at the track. West, northwest, east, southeast, until we start to see this little punch out with the line developing to the west coming in toward Danville. This will continue to track, and if it does so, something we'll have to keep an eye on for at least northern Breathitt County, points north toward Moorhead. In the meantime, this is the action right now. Leading edge now, getting out toward Huntington, crossing the state line, and a complex over, we'll say, the last 2 to 3 hours. A lot of storm damage regarding hail and wind reports now coming out from south of Louisville to toward Elizabethtown and near Lexington. But we have another wave and intense rain coming into Moorhead. Even more so back toward Owensville. You see those purple colors back through there. Get out of the way. Here's Moorhead again. As you make your way just to the east, this thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 7:15. Now, like I mentioned with the previous weather hit, the number of lightning strikes, lightning bolts you see here, has decreased in terms of the number. It's a sign of some weakening, and the issue is now, even though it says tornado possible, gusts to 60. Now, the reason it's saying tornado possible is the way the radar looks. The signature's still indicating some subtle rotation in the atmosphere. Let's move back to the west. Here are the storm reports that are starting to come in now, extending all the way back north of Elizabethtown, and this will be the line right back through here, approaching Danville and Campbellsville. That'll end up tracking toward Pulaski County, out toward Powell County, toward McKee and Somerset as we make our way through the next hour, hour and a half. The 12-hour planner shows once the cold front moves through, temperatures drop like a rock. This afternoon, tonight, mid-20s by tomorrow morning, mid-40s even though we get back to the sunshine tomorrow. A shower threat as we head through Friday. And look at the first full weekend of March. Lower 60s Saturday, near 70 Sunday. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. While we may still be in the dead of winter, temperatures in parts of the country are soaring into the 90s. The wild fluctuations are fueling wildfires in the south and severe storms in the Midwest. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest.
This morning, parts of Texas are torched. Wildfires burning through nearly 250,000 acres of the state's panhandle. From the wall of smoke in Hemphill County to fire north of Amarillo, prompting a nuclear weapons facility to shut down at one point.
We have evacuated our personnel, non-essential personnel, from the site, just in an abundance of caution.
The plant back open today, but flames further east in Shattuck, Oklahoma, closed the highway overnight. Residents ordered to evacuate.
We asked them to leave because it's a very dangerous situation.
Strong winds, dry grass, and unseasonably warm temperatures fueled the flames in the south. Across the nation, 78 cities hit record high temperatures Monday. But in the Midwest, tornado sirens blared. An apartment wall collapsed north of Chicago after strong winds blew through the region.
Within a very short time, we had a big sound of it. Doom. When that happened, it was like something fall off from the top of the roof.
In Ohio, hail the size of nickels pelted some neighborhoods. And in North Dakota, cleanup continues after blizzard conditions dumped 10 inches of snow with winds up to 60 miles per hour.
No matter where we are, there's beauty.
Some residents trying to find the bright side through the chaos. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Welcome back to another segment of Our Mountain Family on WYMT. I am with Hannah Hogan, who is the tobacco specialist at Kentucky River District Health Departments. And Hannah, we've already talked about smoking, but let's talk about vaping. What should people know about e-cigarettes and vaping?
So most e-cigarettes do contain nicotine. Nicotine is a highly addictive and is also known for causing health effects. Nicotine is also a toxic chemical for developing fetuses within pregnant women. And nicotine can also harm the adolescent brain into your early to mid-20s.
Gotcha. So, like smoking a cigarette, the nicotine is still very prevalent.
Right.
So let's talk about the misconceptions about vaping.
And one of the biggest misconceptions about vaping is that people say that it is known for helping people quit smoking. But e-cigarettes is not a quit smoking ad for these vaping companies. It is not FDA approved, so the e-cigarettes, there's just limited evidence to prove that the e-cigarettes are helping people actually quit smoking.
Gotcha, gotcha. So is vaping different than smoking cigarettes, basically?
Conventional cigarettes, cigars, and pipe tobacco products are all dry tobacco leaves. So the complex mixture of those chemicals is all from the substances from the flavors, and 70 of those chemicals are known for causing cancer.
Gotcha. So to find out more information, check out your Facebook page for the Kentucky River District Health Department. Keep it tuned in here for more Our Mountain Families.
It's our Leap Day sale going on now at Kimber's. This Wednesday through Saturday, not only will you get great sale prices store-wide on all the top-selling brand names, Kimber is offering you your choice of an extra 15% off the lowest marked sale price on everything you buy, or up to 5 full years, 60 months interest-free. This incredible sale won't come around again for 4 more years, so don't miss it. It's only at your favorite Kimber store.
Now, when you hear that music, you know what time it is.
It's finally time to do some dancing.
This is a trusted space.
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 Welcome back to Mountain News this morning. The time is 6:55. Let's get you up to date before you head out the door. One person was flown to the hospital after an explosion in Pulaski County yesterday. The fire department says they responded to a home in Somerset for a report of an oxygen tank explosion. The condition of the victim is not known, but officials say they had severe burns to their face. Right now, investigators are working to figure out what caused the explosion. Fire officials say the victim told them a candle caused it. And let's send it over to Tim Drawbridge for a final look at your weather.
And Olivia, the tornado watch again in effect for most of us in the eastern half of Kentucky until 10 a.m. The pinpoint Doppler radar mentioned several times on the last hour. The stuff to the north, the number of cloud-to-ground lightning strikes has actually decreased. That being said, back toward Lexington here and toward Danville, the number of cloud-to-ground lightning strikes is increasing again. And this will be the line. We'll go ahead and just do some simple storm tracking here that will end up affecting us as we head through this morning. Go ahead, we'll switch radar sites, pick up the Louisville site, coming in toward Danville and Campbellsville. So heads up, Waynesburg, Pulaski County toward Monticello. Heads up, Powell County, Stanton, back toward Mount Vernon as we head through the next hour. I'm going to go ahead and get some water. We'll have some live weather updates, of course, during CBS this morning. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. And your local news, your local weather will continue at 7:26, but don't forget you can always find news and weather updates all day long on our website, WYMT.com. Have a great Wednesday.
Celebrate a safe and sober new year. Your journey in addiction recovery starts here. Help, hope, and healing are available. Visit isaiah-house.org.
Sandy Heating and Cooling has been serving the people of Eastern Kentucky for over 43 years.
Call Big Sandy Heating and Cooling now for a free estimate on a new system. Our licensed and certified technicians can have your job installed in no time.
When a technician is dispatched to your home, you can track us on your mobile device.
Call Big Sandy Heating and Cooling for all your service and maintenance needs. We've always got your service history at our fingertips.
We are your local Lennox Premier dealer. Call Big Sandy Heating and Cooling.
I cared about drugs more than I did anything, even my kids. There didn't used to be help like this. ARC has changed my whole life. They meet you where you're at. They love you back to life. I don't wake up thinking, how am I going to get my drugs today? I'm grateful for Addiction Recovery Care. It was the place I was needing. I mean, it couldn't get any better, to be honest with you.
They say the measure of who we are is what we do with what we have. But for us, it's who we have. At ARH, we are a family of committed healthcare professionals. Our strength is our commitment to collaboration across our healthcare system that values our employees. ARH is honored to be recognized as one of Forbes' best places to work for 2023. We are a community of people who want the best for you. Our story is your story. We are Appalachia. We are ARH.
Make your New Year's resolution to spend more time with the family by camping. Pikeville RV has the plan with fifth wheels, toy haulers, travel trailers, pop-ups, or drivable RVs. Right now, every 2023 camper has been marked down below invoice, and financing has been secured with several banks. One night in a high-priced hotel will pay for an entire month of camping. Our pre-owned selection is the best ever, and with our buy here, pay here, you're guaranteed to be approved.
Let's go camping.
Now, when you hear that music, you know what time it is.
It's finally time to do some dancing.
This is a trusted space.
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 Welcome, welcome to CBS Mornings. Cue the trumpet on this Hump Day Wednesday. I'm Gail Kay.
I'm Tony DeCopo. I'm Nate Burleson.
We're all here, so let's go to today's eye-opener. It's your world in 90 seconds. Wildfires sweep across northern Texas, destroying communities. How it's affecting the nation's main nuclear weapons plant. We'll have the latest on that.
There are homes that are actively burning. There are homes that are already burned down.
Donald Trump and President Biden win big in Michigan, but both face some opposition inside their parties.
let's just keep going and running through the tape as much as we can.
And alarming new allegations, a private company that runs hospitals is putting profit over the health and safety of patients.
They're using that money to line their own pockets. Sad news for Adele fans out there. She is postponing her upcoming March concert dates for health reasons.
We need them to go that way. A neighborhood in Texas woke up to an unusual morning rush hour. It's a bunch of goats.
Police had to round up a herd of goats that escaped their enclosure.
That's kind of cute. Go, goats, go. Who knew we were goat wranglers now?
Doncic dumps inside Washington, puts it in. 2 seconds left. The Cavs are out of timeouts. They have to go 94 feet. Strus from midcourt. Oh! Do you believe this?
Whoa! Max Strus from midcourt. Cavaliers called up heaven for a prayer. It is answered by Supermax.
This morning's Eye Opener is presented by Progressive, making it easy to bundle insurance.
And that's why the game of basketball is so much fun. But it actually looked like, guys, that he aimed for it. Normally when it's like that, they just sort of hoist it in the air. Yes.
Oh, no. That was perfect form, Gil.
I know. That was great.
Every kid has dreamed about that moment.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No seconds on the clock.
Right.
Big shot. We have a lot going on in the show and in politics with the big Michigan primary. We'll get to that in a bit. But we start this morning with massive wildfires across Texas. Firefighters are battling 4 active fires with disaster declarations in 60 counties. The biggest one is still 0% contained and recently doubled in size. Omar Villafranca is following this for us. Omar, good morning.
Good morning. I want you all to take a look at the flags that are blowing behind me. That wind has fueled wildfires that have burned hundreds of thousands of acres here in Texas. In fact, one of the country's main nuclear weapons facilities had to pause their operations because of that fire threat. And several structures, including homes, have already been destroyed in the Texas Panhandle.
Just outside Amarillo in the Texas Panhandle, a wall of flames burns the ground and thick choking smoke fills the sky.